Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm BD, and for today what we have here is Dirt 4 running on my HD 7850, which is very similar to the others on the title and with the Phenom II. So Dirt 4 was developed by Codemasters and it's still using their own engine, which is Ego engine, so the graphics didn't change that much comparing to Dirt 3 or even to Dirt 2 or even to Dirt Rally. So let's say it's more similar to Dirt Rally. Okay, so let's take a look now on the graphic settings. I tried to match 60 FPS since this is more than less a simulator game. So I used 1080p, CMAA and 8 times anisotropic for all the presets, and I decided to try the game with median settings. This is the settings that I usually going to use for this game since it keeps the frame rate above the 60 pretty much all the time. The eye settings, it provides you a frame rate above 60 FPS on the Rally, but as soon as you go to Rally Cross or to Wondershare tracks, since there is more cars on the track, the eye settings, it's going to drop from the 60. It's fine for you if you want to play like that, it drops to 50s, but I don't like it. I prefer to go with the 60, with the median, which locks at pretty much 60 FPS with no drops, and the ultra settings is pretty much around 30 FPS. Okay, so I'm going to use median settings since I want perfect 60 FPS. And for the track, what I'm going to play is a rally track that I had in here saved, which I used to benchmark. Okay, it's this one, which is in Australia, and you can generate tracks and choose the complexity of the track. You can choose if you want the track to be complex or not, and the distance. So I tried the worst case scenario. I created a track with the maximum complexity and maximum distance in a way to the game to be demanding. And in fact, well, it was so complex and so complicated that I ended up crashing the car 1,000 times. And talking about crashing, one of the problems with this game for me, it's the gameplay. I loved a lot the gameplay around Dirt Rally. I think it was realistic, and you really felt that you were on the car. The responsiveness was great. But in this game, despite many people say that this is a refinement above the Dirt Rally, I don't think it is. I have serious trouble playing this game, and I think many things are quite wrong. For example, the cars have a lot of grip, so they don't slide naturally. That was a thing that I was very adapted to Dirt Rally, and I was able to play with the gamepad even without too much aids. But now in this one, even with or without aids, the cars just don't slide naturally. I don't know. For me, the game didn't felt right. If you go to Steam, there are many people complaining about that too. Some people are satisfied, but for me, it's a little bit strange. And well, that's about it. I don't know if I should play this game or just skip it and continue focus my efforts on Dirt Rally, which I think that was a much better game. So Dirt 4 is for me pretty much a Dirt Rally 0.5 and not a 1.5 set. Yes, there is a tons of refinements regarding music and the UI, and you actually have now rally. I mean, you have 5 stages of Rally Cross. You have like 3 stages of Land Rush, which I think it's too few stages. I mean, so many people were expecting Dirt 4 to be more or less like a sequel to Dirt 3 or Dirt 2, but with Rally. But it's not the case. This is pretty much Dirt Rally, just with some events. That is One Rush, and we have Dirt Fish, which remembers Gymkhana, but there isn't too much specific things to do there. There is a Dirt Academy, which teach you how to play Rally. And there is this thing, which is my stage, which pre-generates tracks randomly, but the assets are all the same, so after 1-2 hours you end up knowing each part of the tracks, but mixed up, so it's nothing special. I'm very disappointed with this game so far. I was expecting something better. I mean, I wanted to have the same gameplay as the Dirt Rally and have multiple rally events, just like it is happening, but decent events. I mean, the tracks all resemble the same thing. There isn't landmarks that makes the tracks something special. I mean, if you play Dirt Rally, the grease where you are all around those high landscapes, and if you make an error you throw the car around those mountains, and in this game it's just all those things seems very plain and simple. It's kind of strange, all the tracks felt like the same. I don't know, there is many things that I really didn't like about this game. I hope that Codemasters take notes, and I think what the people want is the gameplay equal to Dirt Rally, okay, with small refinements, not an increased change like it was made in here. And people also want things from Dirt 2 and Dirt 3. Okay, I think all the people want Dirt Rally to be mixed up with Dirt 2 and Dirt 3, but at the same time separated in the same game. But Dirt 4, it's essentially Dirt Rally with a broken gameplay for me. That's for me, guys, okay? It can be nice for you. And just like 3 tracks that resembles Dirt 2 or Dirt 3. It's just that. That's what it is, Dirt Rally for me. I might be a little bit too harsh now, but that's what Dirt Rally is for me. Okay, so guys, that's all that I want to talk about Dirt Rally. Hope you keep enjoying my bad gameplay over here. If you want to check the results without recording, it's on the description of the video. Also, you can find the description at the end of it. There is a timestamp there on the description. I just played Rally, didn't try the Land Rush on the video, although the results are on the detailed benchmark. There is a timestamp there on the description that it's going to open an Excel file that will show you what was the frame rate that I got on the Land Rush, which is more demanding, but I also have that results on the end of the video. So guys, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Left 3, narrows. Into right 4, opens long. Don't cut. 80 through dip. Left 5. Right 4, don't cut. And left 3. And right 4, opens. Don't cut. Left 6, into right 5. Into caution. Left 3, keep in. Narrows. Right 2. Into left 4, crest, don't cut. Right 3, don't cut. Into left 2, long, opens. And turn, open, hairpin right, 80. Right 5. Through dip. Left 5 long, tightens. Don't cut. Into right 3. Left 4 tightens. And right 3, don't cut. And left 4, 80. Left 6, keep right over crest. Don't cut. Right 2, crest, 80. Keep left over crest, 80. Through gate. Left 4. And caution, right 2, over crest. Into right 2. 80, through dip. Left 5. 110, through dip. Keep left over crest. And crest, jump baby. 60, left 5. Dip. Left 3, long, tightens over crests. Right 3, long, opens over crests. Dip. Right 5. Left 5, dip, don't cut. Left 3, long, tightens over crests. Don't cut. 60, right 5, long. Caution, crest, jump baby, right 5. Dip, crest. 100 through dip, crest, jump baby. Dip, 200 dip, right 5. Crest, turn, hairpin left. Bumps, 60. Dip. Bump. 100 through dip. And crest. Jump baby. 100 through gate. Right 6. Left 5 over crest. 80 through dip. 80 through dip. Left 3 over crest. Dip. Crest. Through gate. Dip. Bump. Bridge. 100 through dip. And crest. Jump baby. 80. Right 5 long. jump maybe, right 5, 60, right 6, and left 5 over crest. 80 through dip, 80. Care, right 2. Into left 3, crest, don't cut. And right 4, 100, caution, braking, turn, open, hairpin left. And right 2 long, tightens, don't cut. Into left 3, don't cut. Left 6, keep right over crest, don't cut. Right 2, crest 80. Keep left over crest, 80. Left 2, 60, don't cut. Left 3, don't cut. Right 3, 60, don't cut. Right 2, don't cut. Caution, left 4 over crest, and left 1, keep right over crest. Right 4, don't cut. And left 3, and right 4 opens, don't cut. 60, keep middle over crest. Over finish. Okay, take it to the control. Okay, cool. Stage time's been confirmed. Good one.
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video. So in the Ravi stage, that was actually the same stage as you saw here on the video, what I got with the ultra settings was an average around the 30s, but as you can see the game drops from the 30s, and for this type of game I feel recommended to go all odds to 60 FPS. So the eye settings provides us an average of 60 FPS with small drops to 55. So most of the track was above 60, so it was incredible fine, although the median settings do provide you 60 FPS all the time on this track. So it's really up to you if you can play at 60 and you can play with a couple of drops, or if you want to play at median settings and get 60 FPS all the time. Although the story change a little bit as soon as you go to Wondershare or Rallycross, since there is more cars on the stage. The game gets a little bit more demanding and the CPU starts to be important too. So on the ultra settings we got the same old 30 FPS. The eye settings we got an average lower than 60, so not good news, and you can see that there is a bunch of drops lower than 50 FPS, so not good. And for the median settings we aren't able to get 60 FPS all the time. It was pretty much all the time, but the drops happen due to the CPU. It starts to happen bottleneck. Wondershare, I think it has like 8 cars on track, so the CPU starts to suffer. So keep that in mind if you have a weaker CPU. So regarding the consistency, mixing up the two tracks, what I was ultra settings never reached above the 60 FPS. The eye settings 24% was lower than 60 FPS. So like I said, it's 60 FPS most of the time, but not entirely. While the median settings, it was just a small drop, so apart from that the game ran quite well above the 60s. So I recommend you to play with the median settings for these graphic cards. So the VRAM usage was around 1.8 gigabytes, the RAM usage was around 4 gigabytes, so I think you can play this game with 4 gigabytes of RAM. CPU usage was pretty much 40 to 60% on the Rally tracks, but if you go to Rallycross or Wondershare, since there are more cars on the track, the CPU usage goes between the 70% to 80-85%. GPU usage was pretty much 99% on the Rally stages, although on Rallycross and Wondershare, the GPU usage was hovering between the 85 to 99%. So that's all that I want to talk about Dirt 4. Hope you did enjoy the video, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Think a lot. Goodbye.